Deep condolences to the family of the Queen. Our hearts and prayers go to her family, and we pray for comfort, guidance throughout this very sorrowful time. This is the Chris&Teena Johnson Project, and this is our tribute to Queen Elizabeth II in the year 2022 at age 96. This is Chris&Teena Johnson's tribute to the Queen passing. It saddens my heart that the younger generation makes fun of anything, but I guess that's what is happening when you're in the limelight. But to me personally, growing up in Europe, she was always on the newspaper that my grandfather daily bought. She was always on the headlines. The royal family was. They'd be on the news. My mother would constantly talk about her driving when we were driving down. So yeah, and our hearts go out to the royal family in this time of mourning. And this is just a compilation of what we had as our own little tribute.
Elizabeth II, the longtime Queen of the United Kingdom, died at 96 on Thursday, September 8th. Rock and metal musicians worldwide are now mourning the loss of the iconic monarch. Queen Elizabeth II reigned over the UK for nearly 7 decades, as the New York Times noted on Thursday, making her the world's longest reigning monarch. She died peacefully at her Scottish holiday home, Balmoral Castle, surrounded by her family. The death was confirmed today by the royal family.
It was the longest reign in British history. In childhood, Elizabeth never expected to inherit the throne. Her ascension was only made possible when her uncle, King Edward, renounced his right, passing it on to Elizabeth's father, George VI. At the age of 21, the future queen dedicated herself to serving the Commonwealth.
I declare before you all that my whole life, whether it be long or short, shall be devoted to your service.
Years later, in 2015, the Queen would be saluted by Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau as she became Britain's longest-serving monarch.
Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister of Canada, for making me feel so old.
Elizabeth's lengthy reign was celebrated again in 2022, when she marked 7 decades on the throne. Health and mobility issues prevented the Queen from fully participating in Platinum Jubilee events. But a surprise appearance on the balcony at Buckingham Palace left little doubt about where she stood in the hearts of the British public. Through joy, through loss, through both celebration and struggle, she was a symbol of stability in a constantly shifting world. Queen Elizabeth, Britain's 63rd monarch.
Have your sister love the Queen.
Oh, come on, Daisy. Oh, Daisy.
She was my best friend.
How's that?
Are you supposed to be looking as if you're enjoying it?
Yes, definitely. If you could.
Sounds like President Trump.
There is a knife if you want.
I know there is. This is something that is more unusual.
Operation London Bridge. That's the code name given to the plan in place for the days and weeks after Queen Elizabeth II's passing. The Queen has been sitting on the royal throne since 1952. That's the longest reign of any monarch in British history. And during that time, she's seen over a dozen UK Prime Ministers, nearly 20 Summer Olympics, and over half a dozen popes. The Queen is the cornerstone to the Commonwealth, the patron to almost 600 organisations and charities, and plays a pivotal role in the UK's alliance with many countries. So her passing will bring about a lot of change. Not just for the United Kingdom, but potentially the world.
The Queen has passed. 70 years she gave us, you know.
If you're somebody who is wondering why Black Twitter is making so many jokes about Queen Elizabeth's passing, then this video is for you.
People, please listen up to what I'm about to tell you.
To put it mildly, the answer would be colonialism.
The Queen has passed.
Historically, the British monarch has not been good to Black people, has not been good to Irish people, has not been good to Middle Easterns, has not been good to South Asians.
Lord, make peace. Make peace. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not even going to put the words out there.
It wasn't really great for anyone except for the colonizers. It is really hard to ask these groups to respect the passing of a woman who was pretty much the head beneficiary of them being colonized. The power of the British monarch was built on the backs of their ancestors, and you want them to be respectful of it crumbling. Doubtful.
I'm Basque, Scottish, Portuguese, and Spanish. That's my DNA. I have my DNA, my ancestors. Oh, look at my name and my last name, Michael Morphy. So, again, she has passed.
So, for example, up until about the early 70s, the Buckingham Palace avoided hiring people of color in positions of higher authority. They basically only saw that people of color fit in jobs as servant duties.
It's sad. Wow. And it's not, I'm sad for the Queen, for the family. Of course, she's my queen too. DNA, don't lie, blood, you know. But,
And one of the biggest reasons that people aren't a fan of Queen Elizabeth is that she was the head of the transcontinental empire, which was responsible for enslaving millions of non-white people.
I'm not going to say it.
For example, the people of Kenya tried to revolt.
You look it up if you want. Go on TikTok, go on YouTube.
Against Britain's rule. And you know what happened?
You look it up.
Britain rounded up tens of thousands of Kenyans, sent them to detention camps where they were brutally tortured.
Make peace.
I don't feel like I need to explain it any further, but the only other thing I have to say is stop invalidating the way that non-white people feel about Queen Elizabeth's passing.
With yourself. Just make peace. That's all I can say. I'm not going to tell you get on your knees and pray and do this and do that. Make peace. Thank you.
So after 70 years of being on the throne, Queen Elizabeth II has passed away. Let me put this into perspective on how long she's been on the throne. She has met with 13 of the last 14 presidents. Bonus points to anyone knows the one she has not met with. Here she is with President Truman, President Eisenhower, Kennedy, President Nixon, President Ford, President Carter, President Reagan, President George H.W. Bush, President Clinton, President George W. Bush, President Obama, President Trump, and most recently President Biden. And now that the Queen has passed, Charles has ascended to the throne. The Queen is dead. God save the King.
The Queen of Britain is dead. She was 96 years old and ruled for 70 years. Her son, Charles, now becomes king.
I can't believe the Queen is dead. She was a hero to some. I can't believe the pain her family feels, the stress on her son. To lose your mum and be your king, it sounds so mad. But rest in peace to Queen Elizabeth, it is really so sad. I think one thing people got to remember is that she was a grandmother to someone, a mum to someone. So please try and be kind. Rest in peace to Queen.
But if one of us dies, I hope I die. 'Cause I don't wanna...
We want to thank everyone for watching the Chris and Tina Johnson Project. Your time watching keeps our channel going.